Okay, let's find a subject for us to talk about on ChatGPT right now, and then we'll write the script, and then I'll talk about that from my heart. We'll see how that works. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just trying it now. Hi, ChatGPT. You are my YouTube video script writer. I like to help people with finding a closer relationship with God. Can you give me a subject that is relevant for right now, that I can make a video on, and then we kind of structure a script, and then I talk about it and I record it. Let's see how far we can go for retention. I'm also recording the whole process while I'm doing it, so it's a kind of a story in a story, if you understand what I mean. Is that understood? Let's see what comes out. Yes, I understand perfectly. You're basically documenting the process of making faith-based content while also making the content itself, so the audience is watching both the message and the journey. That's actually very strong for retention, because people follow stories more than lectures. I love that idea, says the ChatGPT. Now for a topic that is very relevant right now, 2026, and resonates with a lot of people. Why God feels silent sometimes and what it actually means. This topic works extremely well because many people feel lost, anxious, uncertain right now. Silence from God is something almost every believer experiences. It creates curiosity, high retention. It's emotional and personal. People stay for stories. It allows storytelling plus teaching plus your own journey. This is a very strong retention structure for your video. Retention-based video structure. Think of the video like this. Hook, relatable story, the big idea, Bible story example, personal reflection lesson. Okay, then there are all of these subsections in between. If you want to look, I'll show you there. That's the whole thing, kind of, or part of it. And then there's a call to action or a reflection. If you want high retention, follow the storytelling formula. This is very important for YouTube storytelling. Hook, question, story, struggle, lesson, hope, call to action. Even better idea, because you're filming the process. Your video could actually start like this. Meta hook, very strong. And then it gives the thing, but I think it doesn't realize yet at the moment that I'm actually recording. So that's not applicable right now. Okay. If you want, next step, we can build the actual script structure with hook, story, message, ending. Okay, you can do that right now. And then I will fill in the content with my life. Okay, let's see what happens now. Sometimes the responses takes a while. Great, let's build this properly so your video has story plus message plus retention. Think of this like a framework where you insert your own life experiences. Video title idea. When God is silent, this is what it means. Okay. Script structure. Hook. First 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. You could start like this. Structure, not exact words. Have you ever prayed and felt like nothing happened? Like God was just silent? Like you were waiting and waiting and nothing changed? I think a lot of us go through this. People should think, yes, that's me. So then they keep watching. I've had this in my life very, very much. Because I think, sorry, I bumped the camera. I think somehow or how it was with me was I've always, or for a very long time, I tried to squash God into my little box, thinking that the way that I want things to be answered, my prayers and so on, that he was going to do it exactly like I wanted. And that is exactly not the case. He is God, He is sovereign. He knows the best in every situation, and that's putting it very, very simply. It's very understated, because we actually have no idea. I have no idea. That's why, when I pray, when I'm finished praying, I just leave it. I leave it with Him to answer in His time, in the way that He chooses. And also I leave Him to answer it, to decide if He answers it at all, because that is the right, for me, I think that's the right mindset to have, not to get something from Him, but it creates the mindset of being yielded. We don't surrender to God anymore. When you believe in Jesus, you're not His enemy anymore. You yield your life to Him. That means you give Him the authority to decide about stuff. And somehow there's this synergy of things that happen when you yield the outcome. Even if He answers the prayer, when you yield that to Him, you give Him the choice. God, you choose if you answer this prayer of mine or not. And if you are able to do that truthfully, with full, how do you say that? Meaning it with all of your heart, then there's a synergy that happens. You are changed, and you then become kind of, I know that what is going to happen, whether the prayer is answered or not, how it is answered, when it is answered, that it is going to be in the best possible way, because He is deciding all of that stuff. We are not prescribing to Him, hey, listen, God, you are God, but I'm telling you, do it this way and this way and this way and this way and this time, because that's just not how it works. It doesn't work like that. He doesn't cater to our whims, if I can put it that way. Okay, so let's go a bit further. Let's see what's happening. That was the hook. Let's see if the hook kept people, because we're already almost 8 minutes into the video. Okay. Okay, have we answered that question? Because have you ever prayed and felt like nothing happened? Yeah, that could be because, we expect Him to answer stuff right now, and He is more interested in helping our hearts than He's interested in helping our circumstances. That is something that I've learned. That is something that is such a hard thing to learn, that He's not our genie in a bottle. He is working on our character more than He's working on changing, getting for us to get a new job. That those things are peripheral benefits when the time is right, and when He chooses to answer those things. But otherwise, He's interested in the heart. When He spoke to Moses about building the tabernacle, the first instructions that He gave was for the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is right in the center of the whole tabernacle. What do you call it? Complex, and it's the most important, or the centerpiece of the whole thing. And inside of it was were the tablets of the testimony, where the law was written on. And He says He's going to write His law on our hearts after He has given us a heart of flesh, taken out the heart of stone. So He's always first working with the heart. That is the pattern. He told Moses, follow the pattern. Why did He tell Moses, follow the pattern? Be ye holy as I am holy. Do things like I do them. I follow patterns. He follows patterns. So we have to follow the patterns that He sets as well. It's very, very important. Okay, where are we going now with this? Hook. Introduce your story. This channel journey. I've already started this channel, so I think we're going to skip this part. My personal experience, very important for retention. Now talk about a moment in your life where you prayed for something, you were waiting, you were confused, things didn't go how you expected, you felt like God was silent. Yeah, come on. I don't know if I'm going to speak exactly about this. My personal experience when it felt like he was being silent. I'm going to speak about when I prayed a really, really, really dangerous prayer. I told him a number of times, and I was not being truthful in my motives. I was I wanted I wanted the answer that I wanted because I thought it would change my circumstances. And I said, "Hey, God, you can do anything you want with my life." And he started to do everything he wanted with my life. And what that had to effect was that everything fell apart, because he started to show me everything that was false, that was all of the idols I had in my life, which was me mostly. I was worshiping my own little religious structure that I had built as a scaffolding inside of myself to keep everything floating and keep everything upright. And that all started to collapse. He's so gracious. If he were to give me what I thought I needed to receive as an answer, it would have ruined my life completely. But him answering in the way that he knew that he was supposed to answer has changed my life completely for the better. So yeah, that's completely off the topic, but let's see where the script goes from here. Your personal experience, very important that's what we just did. Retention tip. Don't jump to the lesson too quickly. Stay in the struggling part for a bit. Okay, the struggling part for a bit. Let's stay in the struggling part for a little bit longer. I started to see all of my really, really bad eigenskappen. That's in Afrikaans. Eigenschaften. That's German. What's it in English? All of my bad characteristics, they started to float to the surface like that, under pressure, like in a pressure cooker or in the crucible, when the dross comes to the top, when you are smelting all of the metals together. And that was a really, really has been and is still sometimes a very, very hard experience, because some people are really good with accepting hard truths about themselves. I am not. I have trouble with it. I shy away from it like a bullet ricocheting away as it hits something. So it's really, really hard. But as you look back and you see how the shell of all of the false stuff is falling away, then you start to have a bit of gratitude about the whole story. And I find it really super and amazing how he works with us and builds our characters so that we can do the stuff that he meant us to do. Okay, the turning point, main message. Now you transition to the main idea. Main idea example. Maybe God is not silent. Maybe he is preparing. Maybe he is preparing you. Maybe he is preparing you. All of the hard stuff that you are going through right now, he says, count it all joy. And when I think about that verse now, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. Temptations here means hardships, and to count, you can only count when you have something already. So when you've gone through this temptation, this hardship, this hardship, this hardship, this hardship, count them and count it as joy that these things happened to you, because he was working on your character and building your faith. So I want to encourage you today to, if you are in all of those trials and hardships right now, don't wish yourself out of them. Stay in them. Stay in them, deal with them, stay with him in them. And that is then where the character is built, the character that he wants of you. Don't get bitter, don't get impatient. Stay in them. There will be a time when he elevates you and brings you out of them again. Okay, what is here? Biblical example, optional but powerful. You can mention examples like Joseph, years in prison before coming a ruler. That is one of the most powerful examples, because there's a message, a video of Myron Gold, and I don't know exactly which one it was, but he highlighted such an amazing aspect of the story. Joseph had all of this hardship. He was taken away, sold by his brothers, taken away into slavery, became a slave, then went to prison, became the, everything that happened in the prison. Then he came out of the prison after years, and I don't know the scripture off by heart exactly, but it comes down to when his father Jacob then came to Egypt, and they all, Pharaoh and Jacob and Joseph spoke together. Jacob said, few and evil have been the days of my life. So he was only looking at everything that happened to him in a very negative light. And Joseph, he said, God made me forget all of my troubles in the land of my exile. So he saw everything in a very positive way, and that's why it was so fitting that God gave him the elevation, that he elevated. He said, okay, now you're ready. Your heart is ready. Your way of looking at the things that I put you through is ready. The character is there. The greatness is there that I put into you, the right kind of greatness. Now you can do this thing. So I just want to encourage you again. Stay with it. Stay with God in the stuff. Job. I don't know Job that well. Abraham, waiting many years for a promise. Yeah, exactly. David, anointed king, but waited many years. Those are all very, very cool examples. Life lesson, reflection. Let's go further. I'll talk directly to the viewer. Hi, viewer. I'm talking to you directly. Waiting builds faith. Exactly. We've seen that now, ne? Silence builds trust. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm not going to talk about that. Struggles build character. That I've seen in my own life. Going with God through the valley of the shadow of death. Because that is why he takes you through it. I'm reminded of that saying, that story is kind of like I don't know if it's a fable, but it's always on these posters where it says the footsteps in the sand. Where at the end of the journey, the person asks Jesus, and he says, hey, why sometimes when I look back on my journey, do I only see one pair of footsteps? Why you said you would never leave me, you wouldn't abandon me. Why did you leave me? And then Jesus says to him, hey, stop right there. I didn't leave you. Those are the times that I was carrying you. So look at it in the right way. Yeah. Not getting what you want immediately is sometimes protection. That I've seen in my life very, 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 very much. Growth happens in quiet seasons. There are times when we feel isolated. It can happen that you start to become completely cut off from communities that are good for you, that you stand alone in your life. It feels like you are standing alone. All of the great prophets were alone in what they did. Elijah lived in the wilderness alone for so long. I'm not saying all of us are called to be those great prophets, but this sometimes in solitude is where God starts to deposit all of the heavy, important things that we are supposed to give further to other people. And that is to stay standing. Stay standing. Every time you fall, get up again. He is good all the time. Okay, so where do we go from here? Ending, very important. Ending, very important. Don't just end randomly. Okay, how do I end? End with something reflective. You could end with ideas like, maybe if God feels silent in your life right now, you are not forgotten. Maybe this is a season of growth. Maybe this is a preparation. It's always preparation. It's always growth. He's never finished with us. He's never finished with us. Because the example is Yeshua, is Jesus, and he is perfect, and we will never be perfect. Already, but not yet. So we are new creatures, but the flesh needs to come into alignment with the whole perfectness of the new spiritual creature that is inside of you, that was created the moment you started to believe in Jesus. So yeah, maybe this is preparation. Maybe this is where your story is being written. Could be. And maybe one day you will understand why you had to go through this. It's very, 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 very easy to forget that at some stage we are going to look back and say, yes, now I understand. It's very hard when you're in the soup and the soup starts to burn your bum. Yeah, sorry, that's a bit of a graphic image. Then something like, that's why, yeah, I wanted to talk about these things, and I want us to grow together. Yes, I want to grow together, but I want to honor God, because he is the one who is doing the great work inside of us through the power of the Holy Spirit. He is the Alpha and Omega. He is the start and the finish, the beginning and the end, the author and completion of our faith. Yeah, very important retention tip is now from ChatGPT. When you talk, try to move thoughts through this emotional flow: curiosity, relatable, struggle, question, realization, hope. I've just done everything, just done everything now as it told me. Just spoken from my heart. Simple script, flow, summary. Okay, that's not important for now. That's now a 22 minutes video with some interruption in between from my son. I'm just going to cut that out anyway, because I don't want him to be on the internet if he doesn't want to be, because I don't think he realizes what the implications are. He's only 6 years old. But I hope that helped you. I love you very much. And yeah, that was a very impromptu video, just speaking from the heart, from a little structure given by ChatGPT. Bye.